But and the lessons learned, I don't know if I would have learned them any other way. I always pray, God, please help me never to forget those lessons, because please, I don't want to go through such again. I'm thankful for the journey. It was difficult.
Yeah, must have been.
But, you know, here I am thanking God. And I'm also much more relaxed as a person. I used to be very uptight. If things don't go right, I'd be like, you know, very much wanting to control things. So very sort of anxious in my spirit, you know, if something isn't going right, and thinking it must be me who has done something wrong. I've not planned properly, I've not done this properly. So a lot of pressure on myself. You know, when you say let it flow, like for me to let things flow has been a journey, but now I just let things flow.
For me, it's a journey, and I'm telling you, I was saying, age is a very good thing as well, you know?
Yeah.
Age, and I guess all the brokenness and all the places, because that's a lot, you know? Health, your business falling through, divorce, that's a lot. That's a lot of emotional stuff happening, but you've overcome that hurdle. So I know we're not going back, yeah? And then you've learned lessons from that, and then we move forward now, applying those lessons. But I think also growing old has been the best thing ever. I was saying, I wish God would just let me go back, you know? I wish with all that I know now, He would just say, okay, back to age 20, let's start again. Oh my God, I would be so different. And I'm always telling Althea, please listen to me. It's like pulling teeth. Please, Althea, these are the mistakes I've made. Don't do these things, you know. And even the other day, I got a chance to speak to some young girls, and I'm telling you, that was the best. I need to be speaking to more young girls, honestly. And they were in Form 3, so they're transitioning to Form 4 and then to university. My goodness, I poured out everything. We connected, we loved. I mean, I loved them with everything. And I was telling them, please, nobody told me these things, you know. It's like I'm giving you, I'm giving you leakage. I'm telling you I'm 52 now, I don't know how old, please. Apply these things and life will be better. But sometimes I wish I could go back, but we can't. But I think God works through brokenness. And that's very, very important, you know. And I think why, because somebody said, why does God want to break us? It's sometimes I think the enemy is after us, but it's like what he said to Joseph. I'm able to turn what was meant for harm into good. So the enemy comes against us, but he turns it into something good. If we'll listen, if we'll apply ourselves to listening to him and following after him and trusting him, then he's able to repair, you know, to bind up the brokenhearted, to heal, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor, to just do all those things. And even I'm just thinking of that Isaiah 60, to turn beauty into ashes, the oil of gladness instead of a spirit of heaviness, and a garment of expressive praise instead of a spirit of despair. Because, you know, if you had been told in theory you're going to go through all these things, you'll just collapse in a heap and die. Me, I'd have died in advance. Like, no take me now, I can't do this, there's no way. But when you're going through, you know, you get through it. And it's one day at a time, and then you get through it. And then also I think the reason even that we're here talking about these things is because it will encourage somebody else. Help somebody else know, hey, please, those are, I mean, health, divorce, business collapse, they don't happen the same, but around the same time, you know? Crazy. The same, somebody will go crazy, like season. Somebody would go crazy, but you're here. And the other thing is that's really good because it brings us to the point of what you're doing now. So talk to me about Revive, about rivers, about Punguza, about water, and about everything that you're doing now, Anja.
I'm telling you, it's so fantastic. Let me just back up a little bit. When I started now into business, I read Ed Silvoso's Anointed for Business. And again, that speaks to the fact of everything we do is our worship to God. So I'm anointed to be in business, to make an impact on people in poverty. I mean, that's the
genesis.
And also that's the vision behind it. So what I did is, obviously in good faith, I threw all my savings, everything I put into that business. Everything I had, I put into that business in terms of my energy. The one before. Everything I had put into the business, even some family members had put money into that business. And in 2015, that thing just fell apart. And when I reflect again, you know, there are certain signs, and it's another thing, you know, we need to pay attention to signs. I think I've ignored signs. Now I don't ignore signs, but I ignored certain signs where you think, yeah, you know, that's not quite right. You think, oh, I can make it better. Because I've always thought, I can make it better. I can help everyone make things better. well, I can't help everyone
make things better.
But the journey I've gone through in terms of learning those lessons, I had a prophetic word during PLF, which was there were many, but one of them was that the things I have gone through and will go through, because of course that was before the business came crashing down. You're going through that so that those behind you will not need to go through such things. And I take that very seriously, which means the lessons I'm learning are not just for me, and I must, like you do, communicate them. Yes. And that for me is still a learning point, because I don't think I'm yet very good at communicating my lessons. Probably today's sitting is...
Today's a very good one. This is
the most I've done.
A good one for eternity.
Yes.
It's here forever.
But practically what it has done, for example, even this summer going to Canada with my brother Hans, and going in faith, I mean, there's no way some years ago I would have been so bold, so foolish. You know that God's ways are foolishness in the world.
Uses the foolishness to shame the wise.
Yes, that I would have been able to do that, to proclaim health and healing, and thank God for Hans's healing when there's no sign. And when the doctors are saying, look here, you need to think of euthanasia. We're like, are you crazy?
Thank God for the army that we have. You know, I love the army of prayer people that we have. We're like, no way. And me, I remember I was telling you, Anja, me, I'm not going down that road. You guys can go down that road. Me, I'm going down the road of God is a healer.
And look, now he's out of hospital in a long-term care facility.
Imagine, he's going to get out of that long-term
He is now, his eyes are open.
Imagine.
He's beginning to swallow water. Everything is just strengthening. It is
Hans,
absolutely
the evangelist. You know, every time I pray for Hans, I say, God, the evangelist needs to get better, because he'd always be evangelizing. Even in hospital, I mean, Hans is an example. He's sick in hospital. He's on his deathbed. He's evangelizing the gospel. And so those are the things I would tell God, please, this cannot happen. And I think also for your parents and your people who are around you, and the doctors who had said, you know, I love when people give a report and say, this cannot happen. That's why I say, please, God, step in now and turn this around, you know. And I said, God, you have to do it to build faith, you know, to restore faith, you know, because I was thinking even of your parents who, remember, you always tell us about, every time I hear about, remember the wall of China, I remember about your dad, and that he would pray about it every day. And even you guys were like, this man is crazy. We're praying about a wall for China is due to come down. When is he going to come down? He's in Canada. Is he mad? Can we get on with the business of eating? Because I think he'd always pray before at supper time. So you see, and the world came down. And so therefore, even you, I think, as you're going to proclaim and to anoint him with oil, and they all think you're crazy, you build their faith.
It's such a beautiful journey. And I think, you know, I think of the fruits of the Spirit, and I've prayed about those fruits of the Spirit, you know, love, joy, peace, and as I would recite them, love, joy, peace, I'm like, joy, I think I could use a bit more of that in terms of reflecting joy. Peace, I really need to feel that peace. And that really has come upon me. So now situations don't faze me much. I don't, you know, try to fix everything. I'm much more relaxed about it because I know God is in control. And I've always known that mentally. But now,
physically,
without a shout of doubt, I'm telling you, God is in control. He answers prayers. He steers life the way He wants. And even if you've lost it totally, He will drag you back to where He wants you to be. And that's what you said earlier. Even if we're not faithful, He is faithful. He'll get you out of that dungeon and put you back on the track where He wanted you to be. And so now the business that I started in 2006 was, to me, wow, God's purpose. You know, we're going to show the world how we're going to do development work and eradicate poverty through a business model. And it was great. I mean, the vision was great. It was, you know, we meant well, but it wasn't meant to be. And it came crashing down. And it has to do with, you know, who are your strategic partners? Who are you lined up with? Are you lined up with the right people? Have you done your homework? Have you done due diligence? All these things are so important.
even due diligence through prayer, you know, through prayer. There's just the physical one and the one the world does and all that, that's okay. But also through prayer. Spiritually is there an alignment.
Yes.
Because the one thing that I wanted to say is, without saying what, is actually that business came crashing down from prayer. I think from being in PLF, number one, and then some elders came and prayed, and the whole thing just caved in.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, it's through PLF that I invited the elders to come, because I felt like we need to rededicate this thing because it's not working. And why is it not working? Because I was so passionate about it. So, I mean, passion can only take us so far. If you keep on hitting walls, you have to reevaluate. Are you just driving this because it's your passion, or is it really God's direction?
Yeah, is God in it and driving it?
Yeah, and anyway, the thing came crashing down hard. Praise God, Revive came about.
Amen for
so
Revive.
We started Revive Consulting Solutions. Registration and all happened end of 2015.
Okay.
I then went on a 10-day holiday where I didn't do any work. And I'm telling you, yes, and just the revelations that came during that time. By January 1, 2016, we hit the ground running with Revive. Amen. Within the year, it was a healthier company than the previous company ever was.
For how many years did you run the other one?
8.
And in 1 year?
Yes.
See now restoration.
And if I look even where we are today from compared to last year, I mean, it's just God, as we always say.
Only God.
Only God who could have dragged me there, taken me there. You know, sometimes I think, I wish I was just wise enough to do these things without God having to, you know, force the issue, but it's okay. It's okay, and I'm learning, and I hope God will help me to share the lessons.
Yes.
The other thing that I'm really thankful for is I feel no sense of pride or hurt.
Which is good.
You know, if something works, I thank God. I lay prostrate on contracts. Thank you, Pastor Angie.
Amen. You see, we had downloads,
me,
but we do it.
Like really?
Yes.
There are things I pray
some of the
over.
contractors say, God, please bring this to life, because he did it. The prophet did it. He laid over the child, and the child woke up from the dead. So we must lay on contracts.
On documents. I pray over them. I prostrate myself on them, and I say, God, this is your thing. Wow. May it be as you intend it to be, and it's all okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so excited, Anja.
It's amazing. So Revive Consulting Solutions is all about water. So we bring water to life. Our motto is give life back. So give life back to water that is polluted.
Okay.
Because we also work on wastewater.
Okay.
So we can take wastewater and recycle it and bring it back to reusable water. Even drinking water.
Okay.
It can become drinking water again. So all of our work is on water. So we have a consultancy arm. We do a lot of consultancy work, design work for developers, also individual homes, schools, and especially in the current environment with the lack of rain. Thankfully, it's rained the last few nights. People are beginning to think differently about recycling their water. So, you know, working with several schools right now on solutions to recycle their used water. And then we have the retail side. So we have a certain amount of products that we also sell. So we have under the counter.
Take of that water, I must say. And you know, when you put that water in, I was like, okay, let me just. I want to put it. Because I want. When I saw was it the cylinders, the pipes that you showed me with water?
With the dirt.
Oh my God! I was like, okay, please, action water. And you said it would taste different, and I was like, okay, this is a wait and see. But for sure, it does. You know, when I taste other water, I can taste almost dust in it. But when I take your water, it's actually pure water. It's actually amazing. So you have the underwater tap that you can put it so that people can have drinking water straight from the tap.
Straight from the tap.
The water runs through what is it like a filtration system?
A series of filters and also reverse osmosis to remove any chemical contaminants, which comes from our boreholes, and then a carbon filter which gets rid of chlorine, and all of these things are not good for our bodies. So it's also very healthy water. You know, it's very not just safe and great tasting, but also healthy.
Yes.
So and we scale up those systems, so we can do them for schools, you know, for bigger populations, hotels,
for institutions,
hospitals.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's amazing.
It is fantastic.
And there's the one where you can do it for all the water even that people shower with. What's that one?
Yes, so so the one under the sink, we call that a point of use system because it's installed at the place where you use it. The one that you install, say at the entry of your house, so that all your water in your showers and everywhere is purified, we call it the point of entry. You should have brought those scary filters.
Oh my God. Maybe we should send pictures so we can do them part of the cutaways.
Right.
Because those filters are scary. When you see, I'm like, we can't even get clean. Is that what we're cleaning ourselves with? Oh no.
Yeah, that's right. And there's so much just silt in that water. Yeah, so we also advise people on how to maintain the water that they have. One of those is we all have storage tanks, but we never clean our storage tanks. But there's all manner of things that end up in our storage tanks. Not just dust, but also, you know, critters, animals, birds,
I don't even want
lizards.
to think about it.
So that introduces all kinds of microbiological contamination.
Wow.
Wastewater recycling, we can take septic water, we can take gray water. Gray water is water that's from our showers, and black water is water from toilets. All of that can be recycled and reused. And developers are becoming quite interested. So we're working with a number of developers right now to do that in larger developments where they're
housing developments and stuff. Excellent.
Yeah. And then we developed a retail product which we call natural punguza. Punguza being a reduction of smell, insects and solids that we find in septic water or in pipes. So the first one we developed was for pit latrines.
Yes, that's the one that makes me very excited, the one for pit latrines.
This is so exciting because it has the potential and already has for huge community impact.
Yes.
Schools, some of the schools we've been to.
About the school stories that some of our children cannot go to school in the toilet. They're maggots. They're scared.
Yes.
You shocked me when you said they can't go into school, into the toilet with their cardigan or their bag because it will smell. The smell is crazy. Yeah. And so please tell us about what you've done when you've taken punguza to these schools.
Yes. So what is in here is a product that we normally use in larger applications. So wastewater treatment plants, industrial ones or municipal ones. But now we're making it available for everyone through hardware shops and individual distributors. So what it does is this bottle is enough for 1 latrine for a family, but up to 20 people. And you only need 1 bottle per month.
Per month. And up to 20 people using 1 pit latrine.
Right. Yeah. So what it does is it gets rid of the smell.
Yeah.
You know, there's a very strong smell associated with latrines. It gets rid of it within a day or 2. That's when you know it's working. 2, because of the smell being eliminated, the insects also go. So it's not an insecticide, but insects are attracted to the bad smell. So, you know, the cockroaches, the maggots, the flies, the mosquitoes, they all disappear because the smell is gone. And then over time, after a few weeks, you begin to notice that the solids are going down.
Yes.
So what's happening is families and schools can use their latrines for a much longer period because they don't fill. 2, families and schools also have a hard time raising the funds to dig a new latrine. So now they don't have to.
Because it will last longer.
Because it will last longer. Also, wherever there's a latrine, that space now is wasted. As in, when it gets filled up and closed, you know, you don't use that space for anything else. So it's a wasted space. Again, that's not needed anymore because you just continue using the same latrine. And so UNICEF is very excited about this product because UNICEF is looking at eliminating what they call open defecation. So open defecation is still practiced by 12 million Kenyans, imagine.
12 million?
Yeah, and then in the region, many, many more. In Africa, we have 670 million people you know, without access to good sanitation. And the way it helps the UNICEF program is when UNICEF works in a community, they make sure that every family has a latrine. And of course, when every family has a latrine, then it means there's no open defecation by and large. But their fear was, once the latrine is full, will a family be able to dig a new one? Now with this, they've seen, wow, here's a business model that has huge impact in a community and will actually support the sustainability of their program.